So we've got Mike Mueller with us, who does a lot of work with the company in and around social media. I'm sure this isn't the first time you've been referred to as a social media expert, Mike.
Oh, expert's fine. Just don't go guru.
Oh, not guru yet.
No, I thought you were going to.
But you're well on your way to guru status. Like you are one more like away from guru status.
If I just get that one like, I'm there.
All right, so let's talk Facebook, but because I've got you here, and I like to take things off script because it gets way more interesting that way, I may want to talk to you about some other social sites like Twitter, et cetera, and then I'm also curious what you see in the future with Twitter preparing to go IPO and some of the other things. Like, what's next? So none of that's on the script, so I may sprinkle that in. Yeah, so let's get weird. At least you and I will have an interesting conversation, and
you betcha.
And the billions listening across the globe. So first, let's just dive right in on the scheduled topic. What are some of the most effective ways you've seen agents using social media? And what I'm always curious about is how do you translate that into dollars and cents?
And that's that whole question. That gets over to that return on investment,
yep.
That ROI of social media. And that's what everybody really wants. But effectiveness is, depending on what we're talking about, what media platform we're talking about, all of them, I'm going to say be real. That's the most effective way that you can manage the social media thing, is being real, being a human being, not a marketing machine.
How do you balance being real with the not always natural play of our personal selves and our business selves? Because some of us do things in our personal lives
that we don't want anybody to know.
That we may not want the whole wide world to know. And how do you walk that tightrope of being genuine and being transparent, but, maybe not.
But being business.
But being business as well.
Well, given that we're having a conversation right now, if we're in a coffee shop, we'd still be doing that.
Right.
Doesn't mean I'm going to take off my shirt, and you're probably not going to take off yours either. So we're going to keep it on a business level.
Super bad visual, by the way.
But at the same time, our personality is here.
True.
And that's what I'm talking about, being real. If you've got humor, that's that particular little bit of you, that's what people are endeared to. If you've got a wit about you, maybe something like that, and that's real.
Or if you're, shameless plug for later in our radio show, but if you're a very good photographer, make the pictures that you take be
absolutely
what speaks, right? So
follow your passion.
Yeah. So have what your core competency or what your real gifts are. Have that be what you lead with.
Yeah.
What about the agents? So there are some agents who really have a more declarative line in the sand between personal and professional. What's your opinion on that? How do they balance that, or should they not worry about it? Let professional be professional. Let personal be like, for example, do you need? And this is actually the next slide here. It's in there anyway. Do I need a personal page and a business page? If so, how should they be different? Like that piece.
Yeah. Well, and that's ultimately that's exactly what I did. I'm a motorcycle kind of guy, and
I know we're Facebook friends. I've seen those photos.
I found all of my motorcycle buddies, and that was the first thing I did. And then being a salesperson, the next thing I did with my profile is I found all my clients, and then I realized this is very bad.
Right.
This isn't something, and this is what
but is
everybody
it
else.
Like seriously, let's have a conversation. Right? Is it really bad? Because
it isn't.
Because the motorcycle component is a real component of who you are, and if someone doesn't want to work with you because you like to get a little weird on a Harley every once in a while, well, screw them, right?
Well, now there are people that I have blocked from my regular viewing.
That's why I can't see you anymore.
No, actually, you're not blocking somebody in particular, but I use a lot of different lists. And so given that, you know what, if you're a business person, you're going onto my profile and we're accepting friends, but I'm putting you in a bucket. I'm putting you in a business bucket.
Given let's just be friend zone.
There are some people I'm not going to let you see. And
Okay.
those are some of my wild motorcycles. So I still have the motorcycle, but that doesn't mean you're seeing everything.
Okay. All right. Do I need both a business and a personal, in your opinion?
I would say yes.
Okay. Why?
Because what you're doing is in real estate, you're going after that next client. That's kind of, we're going towards that return on our investment. There's a big wall with that next client becoming your friend.
Mm-hmm.
You have to say, hey, will you be my friend? And they say, yeah, yes. Or maybe that's kind of creepy. No.
Right. Don't be creepy.
And that's your profile. If you have a Facebook page, a business page, a fan page, whatever you want to call that, that has no, you know what, there's a like button, but there's no friend request that has to happen.
So it's a little less intimate.
And you know what, it could be all business over there with a little bit of your humor.
Right, or whatever you bring to the table.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So you say yes to a Facebook business page.
Absolutely.
Now, for the ones who don't, what is, and again, I'm notorious for, if this comes up later, Kathy, I apologize, but what's a good rule of thumb for, I have too many Facebook friends, I don't know, 1,300, 1,500, something like that. A lot of them are in the real estate community and real estate profession. So are there any mistakes that if I don't have a business page, like how do I position my business properly on my personal page?
Well, you know, so I don't know if you've ever been invited to like a dinner party and you're the first one.
Rarely.
There. Yeah. And you're the first one there.
Yeah.
And nobody's there and you're like an hour early.
Yeah.
And it's creepy.
Yeah.
When you set up a Facebook page, one of the first things, even if you just go to your Facebook page that's been up for years, it says, you want to invite all your friends? If you don't set that table first on your page, don't push that button. Don't invite every single friend you have to go like your page if your page isn't done.
Got it.
You got to have a cover photo. You got to have the right profile
You're talking about
photo.
the business page, yes.
The Facebook business page. You know, the same thing goes on your profile. You can, you know, invite every single one of your friends to your open house next week. And I get invited to open houses in New Jersey.
Me too.
All the time.
Yeah, super annoying.
Be a little bit more particular about who you invite.
Yeah, I have maybe a little more draconian view. You're being very politically correct, which is rare, and I appreciate it. If it's your personal page, I think maybe the 90-10 or the 80-20 rule.
I like the 80-20.
Yeah, make 80% of it your person and make 20% of it your work.
Yeah.
So if the only time you ever post is, hey, I'm going to be at an open house on Sunday from 2 to 4, you should come by, I will probably be tempted to unfriend you because you're not adding a ton of value to my life. And then try to make it the experiential life of a real estate professional, because that's a lot more interesting than, unless you have a really special open house where it's just immaculate and beautiful and it's, you know, there's pretty pictures, which we're going to talk about later.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, so Facebook is a visual medium. People love pictures of pretty homes. So you can unlock that if it's a very special house. But short of that, tell them about an experience you've had, tell them about an anecdote, tell them a funny story, tell them anything, but come by my open house on Sunday from 2 to 4.
And listen, too. There's the whole other side of the coin.
Right.
Listening to everybody else out there and commenting and being a part of their life.
Yes. So I have a Facebook business page, let's say, and I want more likes.
Ooh.
How do I get more likes?
Well, what Facebook is going to tell you, which is actually not so bad, run a Facebook ad. So on a page, you can run a Facebook ad for likes and try and go for that increase in likes. And that's not a bad thing. If you're running a Facebook ad, typically what you're going to want to do is define your audience first. Who's that target audience that you want to run that ad for? Because chances are you probably don't want to run it for the realtors in your neighborhood.
Right. For the uninformed, a Facebook ad is and does what?
Well, Facebook makes money by selling ads. Mm-hmm. And it's all the ads on the sidebar. It's the sponsored stories that are in stream now. Mm-hmm. Those are highly effective for page likes.
Okay.
So you can take one of your posts, like, would you believe this kitchen, and look at this view, and one of those posts on your page, you could sponsor that on your page, and it would show up in everybody else's stream.
And then they can click the like easily.
They click the like button, you've got a new like.
Or you could do what Floyd Mayweather did and said, if you like my page, I'll pick a random person and pay him $50,000.
That's a contest.
Right.
That's really important. You know what? You used to be able to not run contests without running it through a Facebook app. Mm-hmm. You can now run a contest on your Facebook page. No problem whatsoever. Give away an iPad. Do whatever you want to do on your page. You can do it. It's wide open territory now.
So you could give away an iPad for, you know, everyone that likes between this day, and then I'm going to give away an iPad to a random person.
Or here's 3 pictures. The one that gets the most likes wins.
Yeah. Well, so now we're going to the next question. Look at me actually staying on script. I'm getting pretty good at this whole radio show. Increasing engagement, comments on their posts, et cetera, et cetera. Contests could be a way to do that. What are some others?
I was reading a report. This is really basic type stuff. but I was reading a recent report on social media, and I'm going to give you some numbers. 90% higher comment rate with posts that have pictures. So when we talk about pictures and you want comments, that's engagement. You want likes, 98%. That's across not just Facebook, that's every social media platform.
So say that again, 90 or 98%?
98% higher comment rate.
And it's usually kids,
for photos,
food, or pictures of margaritas or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That's all I get on mine.
You must be following me.
Right. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. And then another one.
Is that because it's such a visual medium? So
it is.
Think about all social as a visual medium and approach it as that as opposed to something different.
Exactly. And even something like Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter, a lot of people don't get Twitter. Twitter has pictures. Twitter has video. You can do Instagram and send things to both.
All right, I'm going to go off script because you brought up Twitter, which cracks it open a little bit. So there's Vine, which I just learned about from a 13-year-old while I was at a restaurant. There's Twitter. There's all these new, Vine is a 12-second, I think, video.
A whole lot less than that. But
6-second video. Right, I was close. I could make 2, and then it'd be 12. So I have 6 seconds to tell a story over video, and it's a little like Twitter for YouTube. If YouTube and Twitter had a baby, it would be Vine. Is that about right?
Vine is incredibly popular.
So how would you, knowing what you know about residential real estate and knowing what you know about social and technology and where it's headed, what would you be looking at for the next 12 to 24 months?
Anything that combines pictures and or video.
Okay.
Because you're talking video with Vine.
Yep.
Instagram also does. Instagram started out with pictures.
Yep.
Now they do a 15-second video. Video is important. So anything that combines either one of the two that you can broadcast and put over into any social platform. So Instagram goes to Facebook, goes to Twitter, goes to Flickr, goes to Foursquare, goes to a lot of different places.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to put you on the spot now. Knowing what you know about real estate and knowing what you know about social, congratulations, you just got your residential real estate license.
Woohoo!
What would you do starting tomorrow to maximize that for yourself?
I would start using, and given that what we're talking about is pictures and video and social media, I would start using all of that as evidence of success. Here I am on broker's tour, evidence of working.
Yeah.
I'm a full-time agent, evidence of working. Here I am here, and here, and you're sharing your experience during the workday. That would be a phenomenal thing.
So you'd have a multifaceted approach with pictures, comments, video of sort of
and the lifestyle.
Interesting things that happen in your day and life.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. So we've talked about this a little bit, but the next slide is about photos and how important it sounds like from what you're saying. It's one of the most important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Photos, pictures. A lot of people share these small little pictures with text on top of them. Well, you could have just written the text.
Right.
Why'd you put it in a picture?
Those are the memes or whatever they're called. What are those called?
Memes.
Memes. I was close. Pretty good for a non-tech guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or as mimes would say.
Yeah. Nice. As mimes would say.
Can't do that in radio.
Trust me, folks, that was funny. If you were sitting in the room, that was really good. Okay. So those are you take a funny picture, you caption it, or you put
text right over the top,
and then you post that because it's interesting, it's quick, it's a visual medium.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's funny or interesting.
Yeah.
Or thought-provoking.
Exactly.
Okay. Good deal. Question from the audience. Are you naming the photo file name with keywords?
Ooh, well.
This sounds like a tech question.
I love the SEO question.
I'm going to go get a cup of coffee while you guys answer that because I don't even know what that means.
Actually, very simply, if you're uploading anything into, and that's a great thing. So if you're writing a blog post or something like that, absolutely, you always want to do that. In Facebook will give it a random number and convert it, whatever it is, over to a JPEG. So everything's lost SEO-wise. So that play on naming your pictures properly doesn't go in pretty much most social media.
Okay. Good tip between you and the audience. Well done. Okay. So now we're going to take some examples of Facebook business pages, and you're just going to give us kind of a rundown of some of these things and help us figure out how we can rule the world by having a Facebook business page.
I like this one.
Okay. Good, because you probably sent it to us.
Well, yeah.
Right.
But given that, and so up at the top you see you've got a cover image, and the cover image is all about, it's on point to their topic. And they can change it. You change your cover image, change it anytime you want. Used to be you couldn't have text on a cover image more than 20% of the image itself. Mm-hmm. They took that completely away.
Now, when you say cover image, that's everything that's sort of
big,
at the top,
long picture,
the top banner at the top.
Team mm-hmm. with the people over on the side.
Got it.
So they've got an actual message that's going out there with us right on top. And then down below, you see you've got a little snippet in the About section.
In the bottom left.
In the bottom left.
Yep.
You've got a profile picture. That's the Better Homes and Gardens, the green square. Mm-hmm. Everywhere that there's a comment, that's perfect. I can't tell you how many pages I see that don't have a profile picture that's right. Mm. And it's very simple to do, and you want that to be something that's your brand.
When you say right, quote unquote, what
as
do you
in
mean?
Parts of it are cut off.
Oh, got it.
So go look at your profile image as well. And then you'll always have the little apps down below. You always have photos. Mm-hmm. And then what's next is entirely up to you. Now, okay. I build Facebook applications. They've got 3 applications that are here. I didn't build these, actually. But if you're doing an app, what you want to do is you can put anything there. What you put there has to be built on a secure platform. And if you don't know what that means, if you view this in your browser and you're using Facebook securely, sometimes your browser will not show it.
Nah.
So a lot of people have bad apps out there. But this is all part of getting the table set.
Okay. So don't go live with your Facebook business page until it's put together right and ready.
Properly. You bet.
That's the whole dinner party example that you gave before. Okay. So let's take a look at another one. This one's got a little more sleeker look and feel.
Yeah.
What do you like about this one? And maybe some things you don't like, if anything.
Once again, they're on topic with their cover. Their cover image is that big thing, the stories and spaces, and they're in New York. And what are they doing? They're talking about lifestyle with that picture. That's all about lifestyle.
Is that 111,000 likes on their page?
Yeah.
Holy wowzers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So follow them. I love what they do. Look, they've got no apps. So given that, they've got photos, and then they have not added a custom app to their page. Mm. So it doesn't mean that you need a custom app to succeed. Very simple.
Yeah, I assume they're a real estate agent.
They're a real
estate
estate
brokerage.
brokerage.
But I can't tell even by looking at it exactly what they are, right?
Yeah. And they talk mostly about living in the Manhattan area and the lifestyle about it. Where to eat.
Got it.
What it's like living there.
So it's not just real estate.
Not
it's
at
the
all.
Whole lifestyle for their community.
And then there's that 80-20 rule.
Right.
Every now and then, look at this great listing.
Look at this beautiful Tribeca loft that we have that's whatever.
Yeah.
I just exhausted my knowledge of New York.
That was it.
That's all I got. That's all I got for
you. got one word in.
Yeah.
Tribeca. Loft.
And loft. That's pretty good, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So be 80-20, have a lot of lifestyle components even in your business page. Don't invert the 80-20 and make it 80% business, 20% interesting.
Yeah.
Still keep it 80%.
Even if it is a business page.
Yep.
Exactly.
Make it a reason that people want to forward it, share it, and get more participation.
Yeah.
All right. Here's another one.
And I wanted to go, that was large. Both of the first two were very large. They were corporate business pages.
Okay.
Here's an agent. Actually, it's an agent team. It's 2 sisters. They're up in Canada. And they are, once again, it's all about community. And what they're doing, here's their profile image, a fabulous profile image. They've got their cover image, their cover photo.
So the profile image is their logo or brand,
uh-huh.
and that's front and center and branding them as real estate professionals. And then it looks like their cover, and I'm sure they swap this out, is designed to highlight whatever is next coming up in the community. Yeah. So there's a reason to go back to the page, and it shows up a lot.
Exactly. And it's free advertising. And,
Smart.
This is something they're putting on. Down below, they've got photos always, and then you've got contests and promo. They were actually running contests.
So we've gone from a couple that had thousands of likes to one that has 600 likes. What's a good sort of, and you may be covering this later, but if I were just getting started, what's a good threshold of likes to strive for in the beginning? Is it 50? Is it 100?
How about 25?
Okay.
Get to 25, and you can start running analytics on your page.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying 25. You can start running analytics on your page. But really, if you have 25 lunatic raving fans of your brand,
Yep.
That's really all you need in a page. That's
Because
all you need.
It'll grow from there.
Yeah.
How much do I need to put new content on my Facebook business page? Daily, weekly? Like, how do I keep it interesting, keep it relevant? Is it like a blog? Is it different than a blog?
How about, well, it's different from, it's a microblog, technically.
Okay.
So how about...
What's microblog mean? What's that mean?
Means very small because you're doing small little posts. You don't have
hence
to do
the micro.
Yeah.
I got it.
But how about 20 times a month? If somebody wants a number,
Okay.
hit it 20 times a month. Hit it daily. Monday through Friday?
Yeah.
There's your 20 times a month.
But if I wasn't committed to putting something on my Facebook page 20 times a month, should I form one? That's my question. Be honest. Be honest. Don't lie to me.
Yes, you should, and
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Your Facebook page is indexed by Google. Your Facebook profile is not.
So it helps with the juice, the Google juice.
So even if you did nothing but create a Facebook page,
Leave it
would
static
still show
and
up in
move on.
Google.
Okay. All right. Good answer. Truthful answer. Good deal. So use what I'm getting for sure is use that cover photo spot as your billboard.
Yeah.
I mean, that changes maybe your profile stays a little more static. That's your brand. You want your brand to resonate and communicate it again and again. And then make your profile page, your cover page, your cover photo. Whew, good Lord.
Yeah.
Can we get a tech person in here? Make your cover photo be the billboard that you change out that's topical and
Change
timely.
it on a regular basis if you like.
Very cool. Good
Should we
tip.
give the size?
Oh, yes, sure.
Because that's something that a lot of people don't necessarily know, and they don't really tell you. 851 pixels by 315 would give you the perfect size for that cover photo. So if you're graphically in charge, you can actually create something like that. Or you can give it to your 13-year-old niece.
And they can do it for you.
And there you go.
Perfect. If only Reese would turn 13, I'd be ready. Here's a question from the audience. You talked about Google Analytics. How do I use it? What is it? Is Big Brother watching? Tell me how it works.
Google Analytics are phenomenal. If you have a website, you can install Google Analytics. Technically, with a Facebook page, Facebook has its own analytics, which they call Insights. Mm-hmm. You can also install an app on your Facebook page and get Google to have Google Analytics in Facebook. Huh. So if you ever wonder where people go on your website, how long they stay, where they came from, what kind of referral sources, what keywords they put in, that's all Google Analytics.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. And you can there's a plug-in that you can put.
Or just go with the free Facebook one.
Yeah.
And what Facebook will do is tell you demographics of the people that are on your page.
Okay, cool. Here is another one.
A local one.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah. So Gina does a wonderful job. And look at all the likes she has. She's got a great cover picture that's all about her town. And then she's got a little profile picture, and I like this page, and it's successful. Look at that, 5,000 likes.
So, and last time we looked at this, Gina was right in between like Mercedes-Benz and Lancome for number of likes on a page. So, I mean, competing with some national brands, it's interesting.
Yeah.
How does that translate into business? How do you measure that kind of thing?
To me, the number isn't as important. 5,000 likes or 5 million likes. Yeah, there's a numbers game that happens in social media.
Sure.
But it's how many people you're actually reaching and the
Okay.
quality of that conversation that happens. And Gina's very good at, you look at her page, it isn't just about this top part of her page.
Yeah.
It's what happens down below in the timeline.
And so because this is one I happen to follow, she does a lot of talking about things that are going on in the city of Pleasanton.
Local events, things like that.
Local business owners.
I've seen on her page, she's got a picture right there, the last photo. She has that branding that happens on her photos. People will hold up the little P-Town
Heart
the heart.
thing.
That's branding too. That's great.
Yeah, I'm a little afraid that there are a couple of those running around with me on them, which is a little spooky and scary. Yeah. Okay. So again, it's a content play, isn't it? It's really about having relevant, interesting content that make people want to come back and spend time looking at your Facebook business page or profile, whatever. Have content that people will find interesting and do it consistently.
And when people go to this page, she's got 2 apps. She's got an About Us and Visit Our Blog.
Okay.
Both of those lead right down that avenue. Oh, by the way, I'm in real estate.
Yeah.
She's not a secret agent in doing that.
So for the people who, how do I measure that this is actually going to translate into business? Or is this just something that's going to be a giant, I'm being the naysayer now, that's going to be a giant time suck, and I'm going to put all this energy into trying to be witty and interesting and funny, and I'll get all the way up to 400 likes, and I'm never going to do another deal, even though I put all this effort and energy into it? How do I measure transactions from having a Facebook business page?
Yeah, that's a tough one, because nobody's going to go to Facebook searching for a home.
Right.
Find a home and then go, I got to have this home. So that's a tough one to track. Given that, people who enter your life, that conversation could happen from Facebook. So I try to get people to create a marketing plan, a consistent marketing plan. I'm going to go over to Facebook. I'm going to spend 20 minutes. You want to spend 20 hours on Facebook and play, that's up to you.
Right.
But here's your marketing. And 20 minutes a day in Facebook, going in, finding value, finding content, finding things to comment on, and start that engagement process.
Now, there are companies that, quote, do it for you, unquote. What are your thoughts around those?
Go
ahead, be honest. Go ahead.
Yeah. You know, everybody wants to make money off of social media.
Yes.
And hence the gurus and things like that. But, you know what? If you've got somebody on your team and you can appoint them, and by the way, you can create different accounts to manage your team on your page as far as that goes. So when you do something like that, you can have somebody actually writing content and things. When somebody asks a question,
it needs to be you.
You need to be there and answering. And I wouldn't put that to a third party.
Yeah, my opinion is this. I think there's some value in the third party stuff to get a baseline.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they're posting for you once a week or twice a week or something like that, but your voice has to come through on the blog, on the page, on the business page,
exactly.
whatever. And your voice won't come through if you aren't the one speaking.
Yep.
Even if they're very good people, ghostwriters, and they can develop content, et cetera. But if you aren't really committed to spending some time, effort, and energy in writing and putting up some interesting things and spending a portion of your week thinking about your business page and how you can make it interesting and relevant, don't do it.
Yeah.
Either do it or don't. But if you don't want to commit to the time, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Am I wrong in that?
No, you're right on.
Okay. All right.
Right on.
So what should I not do on Facebook other than, pictures of beer bongs and whatever else?
Well, yeah, that goes without saying.
Right.
Given that you should not, we talked a little bit about this before already, you should not make it 100% sales.
Okay.
I'm the best real estate agent ever, and,
I sold
here's my
400
listing, here's
homes
my
last
listing,
week.
here's my listing. Social media that doesn't work in social media, and people will just turn you off. Don't invite everybody, like I said, for the Facebook page. Make sure, as far as that goes, that your home table is set, as far as that goes. So go over and, create that Facebook page, and then start working it. The don'ts, listen, look around and see what you don't like.
Right.
And if there's a whole lot like, ew, I really don't like this, chances are you probably don't want to be doing that yourself.
Yeah, and don't post mad.
Yeah.
And don't post buzzed.
Oh, I was going to say drunk.
Well, right. Okay, good. Definitely. Yeah, and can someone post too much?
And there is that thing of posting too much. And, if I'm following you, and a lot of people don't realize that I can turn you off, and I can turn you off temporarily, I can turn you off permanently without even unfollowing you. I can just mute you, basically, within social media, whether that's Google Plus or Twitter or what have you.
Great.
Yeah. So we all get passionate about whatever we're doing, and sometimes, it maybe you're just posting too much.
Yeah.
And so give it a break sometimes.
How do you balance the posting too much, but I want to be relevant and I need to be interesting, but I don't want to be too provocative, or I don't want to always be like, what's the right gumbo? What's the right mix?
Some people will actually, and I know some people because I do.
Some people being you.
Me. I have all these ideas. Oh, I got to post this. Oh, I got to post that. Oh, look at this picture from this weekend. I got to post that.
Right.
And have a little filter and balance it out. Put it, you might see a motorcycle picture, then you might see me in a kilt. and then whoa, I
Yikes.
gotta take some time off and let's do a little businessy kind of stuff.
Sure.
And I'll go over to my feed reader and find some great business articles and share that. And then maybe down the week, maybe I might throw in another picture. I might go back to that. So sometimes I've got to slow myself down.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you really, are you giving it that much thought where you're like, I haven't posted an article in 2 weeks. It's time to do one?
Oh, it's not that at all. It's more, I've got to slow myself. I want to share everything in my life.
Right.
And you really can't. So sometimes, and you know what, with all the different platforms, if you're like that, if you're like me, what you can do is you can say, okay, well, I'm going to share a couple over to Twitter, and then I'm going to go over to Facebook, and then I'm going to go to Instagram, and I'm going to go to Vine, and which doesn't mean they have to go everywhere.
Right.
And then I go over to LinkedIn.
Now, what about the person who can't wait to tell you that they're in line at Starbucks?
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we ban those?
You can.
I mean, if you're in line at Starbucks and something interesting happened, then it's cool. Like, tell me about it. But just because you need coffee, do I really need to know that?
You know, the pumpkin spice latte is just, well, I saw that 500 times this morning.
Right. It's back.
It's back.
Oh, boy. Great. So
I think we all know.
How do we balance that, though? Seriously. Because, you know, I mean,
well,
or do you not worry about it and just...
Yeah, if you did it once, you're fine.
Got it. But the next day, I don't need to know you're getting another pumpkin spice latte?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Any parting shots for people around Facebook, anything that we haven't talked about that you want to make sure they get in their skulls?
Well, you know what I'm going to say? Since we just talked about Starbucks and their pumpkin spice latte, when you sign into Facebook,
yes,
I want you to make sure that there's an HTTPS up at the top. If there's not, you're not signing into Facebook securely.
Oh.
And anybody who's really smart can run a little thing on an open Wi-Fi and now sign in as you. And you had no clue.
That's the whole hack thing?
That's the whole hack thing. So you can run what's called a black sheep hack, and if you are signed securely, you're safe.
Super cool. If I could run a black sheep hack. That sounds awesome.
You betcha.
That's total SEAL Team 6.
And I'll show you how to do it.
All right. One more before I give you the accolades and thanks for your time and your hard work with the company and sharing with the agents. So of what you've seen that's coming down, what's next? What do you think is next in and around social? Is there, you know, Vine is something that's out there, but maybe everybody doesn't know about it. Or what do you see that's next?
Well, there's a lot of networks out there that are not all encompassing. I'm a mountain biker. I've got this whole network that you've never heard about.
Sure.
And if I was a real estate agent, I would be the top selling real estate agent in that network because I'm passionate about that and I've got those things. So you're going to see a lot of fragmented networks coming up that just are about a specific topic. And if you're a real estate agent, there you go.
Got it.
You're the guy.
Okay. All right. Mike, thanks so much for all your information, all your insight, all the work you do with the company. I know you've helped agents build and develop their social presence. You've helped myself personally build my social presence. So appreciate all the hard work you do for the company. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah. All right. Now I'd like to welcome Todd Taylor with Taylor Photography Group. Welcome, Todd.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
First time on the radio show.
Yes.
So what you're looking at right now are some beautiful photographs of Todd, and his company does high-end photography primarily, right? Tell us a little bit about Taylor Photography Group.
Right. We're Taylor Photography Group. We've been around. A lot of agents have known us as Taylor Marketing. We've been working with Better Homes and Gardens agents for 11 years now. And we're just a professional photography company and internet marketing specialist. That's all we've done for like 11 years is photography and internet marketing. And bottom line, on that first slide, what it says is that photos matter. I mean, right now, we all know that this is going to be the first experience a buyer or seller has with you as an agent is usually going to be when they're shopping for a home. And what does it say about you? I mean, what is your photos? You want to be seen as a marketing professional of homes.
That photo that's up there right now says I can't afford that. I want that house.
It's sold.
Yeah, that too.
But what does it say? I mean, that's the whole thing. And you want to be, when you're with your seller, you want to be seen as a marketing professional, not someone who lists homes. They could go spend a couple $100 for a home listing service that's going to slap it on MLS. You want to be proving to them that you're a marketing professional. And by hiring a company such as ours to come out and do this, we understand that we're part of your team and that we do something that you can't do on your iPhone. And, that's one of those things that sets you apart.
Yeah.
And how are you setting yourself apart that says, listen, you know what? I care about your home. I mean, we do $22 million professional athlete homes, and we do 1,200 square foot bungalows because all those homeowners want to have a professional service representative.
So, Todd, even on a lower end listing, I got a $400,000 bungalow in Oakland in a transitional neighborhood. Should I have it professionally photographed? Why?
Because you want to, that person is a first-time home seller, first-time home buyer. You're trying to prove your worth to them over and over and over. So when they are in 5 years looking for another home, they're like, so-and-so did a really professional job. Mm-hmm. You're setting your image as to what you do with homes and saying, I care about your home, whether it's $400,000 or $4.5 million, that you care about their listing.
Okay, so what are we looking at right here?
These are agents who don't care. These are agents who list properties. They go out with their iPhone and they take photos. They take photos that aren't color corrected. They're not skewed right. They don't put the toilet seat down. I hear over and over. It's
I hate that. So tacky.
Pet peeve.
And I, to this day, do not understand why these sellers stay with those agents, why they don't dump them to the listing right below them that had professional photography. I don't get it. How many people have brothers and sisters in the real estate market? Mm-hmm. Why don't they list with Row? Okay. And all I'm saying is, for us, we've been doing this 11 years. We know to take our shoes off when we go into a house because we know that ultimately we're representing you as the agent. And our ultimate customer, we have a lot of customers. The agent pays for the tour, but our ultimate customer is that home seller. And we need them to be happy with you, and we need to represent you in a way that says that this agent's professional, and they bring in professional people to market my listings. They're not just listing it. They're not just sticking a sign in the yard, putting it on MLS and praying that someone buys it. This is someone who's actively marketing their home like the valuable product that it really is. And for most of these sellers, this is the largest aspect of their net worth. And we all need to treat it with the care and respect it deserves because for that seller, whether it's the 1,200 square foot bungalow or a $4.5 million property, it's super valuable to them. And we need to show that to them.
Okay, good.
Does
And
that
you
make
guys,
sense?
absolutely, you guys do great work. We hear great things about you. I know you do virtual tours as well.
Right.
So when you get the photographs done, you automatically create that virtual tour for the agent. Tell us about the prize that you're giving out today and what an agent can use that towards.
We're giving out a prize for basically any of your, you got a listing coming on. It's the photography. It's a custom branded virtual tour. We talked a lot about branding, so it matches up with your color schemes. It matches up with your logoing, and it makes sure that no matter what, when someone sees the virtual tour, they're actually realizing that, oh, this is a Better Homes and Gardens agent. This is Ruth Eddy. This is who, that I picked to choose. And then it's also a YouTube video. It also gets syndicated out. So you actually have a YouTube video to work with as well. It automatically creates that as well.
Okay.
So there's a lot of facets. As far as MLS goes, it automatically resizes the photos into an MLS size, et cetera. So it's a whole marketing thing.
Wonderful.
For your thing.
Okay, good. Thank you so much, Todd.
Thanks for having us.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Todd. Appreciate you being here and also giving us that prize to give away. And so I'm going to actually give it away right now. So here is the deal. For the third person that answers the question correctly, that's the third person that goes to the question bar and types in the correct answer, they will win that fabulous prize that will help you with your next listing. And if they don't have a listing, they could use it for their personal brand, doing headshots or whatever else.
Any future listing, too.
Okay, cool.
We don't really do the headshots thing. We specialize in architecture.
Okay, perfect. So what % higher comment rate will you get with photos across the social media spectrum? So answer the question, what % higher comment rate will you get with photos? And we'll take the third correct answer, and we'll give you the answer who the winner is at the end of the show. So now we're going to shift gears a little bit and dive in. Apparently, this is photo day for Better Homes and Gardens, Mason-McDuffie on the radio show. But we have how staging and photography can win listings. And we've got Suzi and Julie with us. And this is what you guys do for a living, right?
That's right.
Okay, cool. Well, let's dive in, and I'm going to pick your brain like crazy. And then I'm going to have you come do my house because it's terrible. All right. So how can stagers help the realtor?
Well, it's interesting coming after Todd and Mike because Mike is all about social media, and that what you see first is the image of the house and the front of the house, and then coming after Todd, who talks about the difference between marketing and just listing your house. Well, we're all about marketing, and this is the biggest purchase that somebody can make, no matter what the price range is, whether it's a $100,000 house or a $4.5 million house. Just like Todd said, it's important to the buyer, and you want your home to look incredible when the buyer walks in.
Okay, so it's all about that first impression.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right. And just like he said, it's this incredible investment, probably the biggest one that anyone will ever make, and it's very important for it to look the absolute best it can.
And because I do it, I'm going off script again already. So I know, right? Watch out. Buckle up. So are you guys specifically, are you part of the quote team, unquote, for agents as they go on listing presentations? How do you encourage an agent that's on a listing presentation to position staging and the services that you provide?
We're absolutely part of the team. We don't typically go in on the presentation to the home seller until the realtor brings us in.
Okay.
We're happy to do that if they need that.
Right.
But typically with the realtors we've worked for, they've already talked to their...
Secured the listing.
Exactly.
Okay, good. So how do they convince the client, right? Because especially maybe the perceived value isn't there, or the consumer thinks the real estate market's so hot, this house will, quote, sell itself, unquote. And then also, too, people who have lived there for a long time maybe not recognize some of the foibles of their property.
Right,
Is that a politically correct way to describe it? So how do you convince the client, or how do you recommend, or what have you seen successful agents convincing clients that staging is something they should do?
Well, I think you can go back to social media first, and you can show them all the houses that have been staged and the ones that haven't. It's quite obvious from the photos which have and which haven't. Actually, this one in particular, I don't think is that horrible, the before staging.
No, that's staging by Keith. That's what that is.
Many houses that you go into are just completely cluttered, and the homeowner isn't really able to see that because they've lived there for so long. And then you see the after, and I think showing the client, the differences between what you can do to the house after is incredible.
A lot of it also is about the lifestyle, too, and you want someone to walk into a home and say, yes, this is the lifestyle I want. I want to live in a house that's this beautiful. I want to envision myself going outside and sitting in those Adirondack chairs and having a little, barbecue with my friends here. It's, a lot about kind of presenting it in a way where they can visualize themselves being there and living that lifestyle.
And in some ways, it's you have to depersonalize it from the seller so that the buyer, at least it's my opinion, you tell me if I'm wrong, because when we disagree, it goes way better.
Right.
They've got to depersonalize it from the seller because it's a lot harder for the buyer to envision themselves there when it's so intimate and personal with grandkids and kids' photos and horse jumping or whatever they're into.
Potential seller walking in the house and going, oh, so they got their business degree from which school? And then you start getting into the whole, I wonder what they're really like, and they're looking at all the family photos, and they stop looking at the house. It's the house.
And I also think when you stage a house versus when you go in and it's all cluttered, you can you feel like the house is taken care of. When you walk in a house that's staged, you think to yourself, wow, this home has really been taken care of. If you walk into one that's just cluttered and messy,
it was taken care of about a week before when you guys showed up.
Well, yes, but it's an emotional purchase, and I think it just rings that we took care of the house.
And on the flip side, too, if you walk into a home that's completely devoid of anything, again, it's hard for people to visualize, and then they start looking at, well, look, there's a little chip in the floorboard there. Like the smallest things all of a sudden get magnified.
When you can also hide some of the flaws, right?
Right,
absolutely.
If it's a really small room, you can put small furniture in. If it's a giant, massive room, you can use a little more.
Yeah, the small room becomes the baby's nursery.
Right. So you can hide some of the maybe floor plan flaws or some of the other stuff. That's hard to say. Say floor plan flaws. Say that fast 10 times. All right. So do you have a checklist for agents who's listing, again, $4 million versus $140, right? So how do you stage on a budget? Maybe that's a way to ask the question. Or is there a checklist that agents can use? And how do you approach that? Because I'm sure you guys, as this being your core business, have to sort of sort through how do we stage a $200,000 house versus a $2 million house?
Well, we definitely have a checklist for the agents if they didn't want to do any kind of staging. It's things just like you were saying, declutter the house, take away all the personal items, remove items from medicine cabinets, and
You mean drugs?
I mean drugs.
Yeah, okay.
And collections of things, little items that people could grab and put in their purse, soaps and things from the showers, laundry baskets, just those basic kind of things. Like take everything off the counters, put away some appliances. Those are basic, things that you can do. And from there, it kind of escalates how much you want to do. From there, maybe it goes to removing all your CD cabinets, to smaller random bookshelves, to file cabinets. And then I think that having a professional come in is the next step. And what we usually do is when we come in, we give the client an edit list. We walk through their house and we say, remove this, 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 this. And then they take care of that. And then we come in and add accessories and things.
Good. All right. So I like this question, actually. Is there anything you've ever wished you would have handled differently to maximize the appeal, or what are some, if you don't want to go that route, tell us the things that you've done that worked the best, but people's mistakes are always more interesting.
Well, I'd say there was a home that we staged and we left and later thought, wow, that we took care of the interior. We were very happy with it. But on the exterior, we felt like that house had no curb appeal. And when people are going online and they're looking at the virtual tour, typically the first photo they're going to see is of the exterior of the home. So we felt like, wow, we probably should have talked more to both the realtor and the homeowner about the importance of making that presentable, really having the curb appeal that would be important to have to sell the house.
What's the number one mistake that you see homeowners make that don't use staging? Like, what's the biggest faux pas that just sort of drives you crazy? Like, for me, it's the toilet seat up in the photos, right? Like, that drives me bananas.
Yeah.
But what's the thing you guys see when maybe you're out looking at listings that you didn't stage or that kind of thing?
I would say it's both not realizing the importance of depersonalizing it. And then secondly, probably just, and this is no fault of the homeowner, but not recognizing how too many furnishings and too much in the home can detract from people being able to see the bones and the beauty of the home itself.
Sometimes less is more.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, people got big, oversized furniture in tiny little rooms.
But you forget
too many pieces. You have 3 tables, and you only really need one.
Right.
People can't really walk around the room easily anymore.
Yeah. We collect stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah. George Carlin has a whole riff on stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard to be objective when you're living there. You can't really see it anymore. You've lived there for 10 years, and you don't see all the stuff that you actually have.
And you started with one table, like you said, and then you got another one, and then now you got 3, and everyone's got stuff stacked on top of it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. When a house is really unique, right, completely different after being staged, how hard is it for a homeowner to let go? Have you ever staged a house and the homeowner said, well, maybe we want to keep it?
No, but there's always a couple things that happen right after we stage it. And the first one is the wow factor. They're blown away. They can't believe how incredible their house looks. And then I think the second one is why they didn't do it, a year ago or 3 years ago.
Looking at it and saying, whoa, why didn't we do that?
Yeah, they were living in it like that. And then the third thing that we always get is, can you come to our next home? We don't really see.
You mean the one that they're moving into?
Yeah.
Will you come set that one up?
Yeah. Yes.
You guys do that?
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
All right, cool. Good to know. All right, good deal. What? So realtors are oftentimes challenged. That's a really polite way to say that, Kathy. Well done. Should they let the stager hire the gardener, the window washer, the rug cleaner, the house cleaner? Should they think of you as the general contractor, quote unquote, though I know you're not a contractor, but the general manager of all things aesthetic? Or how do you guys handle that?
I think that's completely up to them, but we are happy to help. And we know, working with realtors all the time, we know how many things they're managing and how many balls they're juggling. And so if this is an additional thing that we can do to help so that they can continue on with additional listings, we're happy to do it.
So you're the executive vice president of Make It Pretty.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah?
Exactly.
That's
That's
good.
our title.
Put that on your card.
I like it.
I would totally put that on your card.
How much do we owe you?
Yeah, nothing. That was free. Thanks for showing up. So I think we've touched on this, but I'd love to have the dialogue again because I know that this is the objection that agents run into all the time in living room, dining rooms, and conference rooms. I think most agents experientially understand the value of staging. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it can be hard to translate that understanding to a cost-conscious seller. Mm-hmm. So there's no need for staging if it's priced right. You know, there's one of three things. I've even said this before. There's one of three things you should focus on when you're listing a home. That's price, price, or price. Price is what will drive the sale of a home. How do you balance that with the need for staging?
Well, I think the house obviously does need to be priced correctly. I mean, that's very, very important. But again, it's back to what Mike said and Todd said. This is such a marketing world now that you have to tie things with a red bow and have little blue boxes, and you know people are drawn to that.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And you know this is such an enormous purchase,
Yeah.
and I don't understand why you wouldn't market the house. I mean, this is the world that we live in right now. You need to do that.
Yeah.
So will it sell? I can't answer that if it will or won't, but I do definitely think that staging helps. Mm-hmm. To create that lifestyle.
Typically you're going to get more offers. It'll sell more quickly, and you know if it's sitting on the market for too long, everybody knows the price is probably going to go down, and it's stale. So it's really important to write out the gate, have it look the best it can possibly look.
I know that when I was selling, and that was a while ago, but that was when staging was probably 13 years ago. So that's when staging was sort of somewhat nouveau. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty easy back then to just, if a seller really pushed back against it, I'd find two listings, one that was staged and one that wasn't. And I would take a little road trip with them. I'd buy them a cup of coffee. We'd jump in the car, and I would go open up two houses that were nearby, comparable homes, comparable price points. I wasn't stacking the deck in my favor. And I'd say, let's just go have an experience. And if at the end of it you don't want to stage, no problem. And if at the end of it you do want to stage, cool, we can explore that, and I'll help you get price quotes.
Yeah.
Literally 100% of the time. Okay, all right, let's talk about staging. That doesn't mean they staged 100% of the time, but it absolutely opened the dialogue up because it's so, as human beings, we're visual creatures. That's our primary sense that we use. And it's so visually powerful.
Yes.
The difference is so visually powerful. So that's Keith's tip and trick. And you can
love
steal
that.
that and use it too.
Yeah.
So now, money, right? Mm-hmm. So what does it cost to stage a home at a minimum versus kind of a tweener versus full boogie? And does the price vary based off of, is it price point of the home, size of the home? How is staging priced, and what sort of estimates can we give to clients?
I think it varies depending on the level, obviously, but it can be anywhere from $1,000 to $20,000 depending on how much effort you're going to have the stager put in. At a minimum, you can just have them use your furniture like we do and add accessories and do things like that. At a maximum, you would have the client move out completely. You could repaint, recarpet, re-countertops. I mean, all new, everything. And that is a very pricey level. And I think the client just has to find where they want to be.
Do you guys help with the picking of tile, picking of carpet color, picking of paint color?
Yes,
all
we
of that
can do
component?
that. But our niche is, we definitely have done that, and we can do that. But our niche is at the probably lower medium level, where we go in and we tell them to edit what they need to edit. That's our name.
Edit.
And then
nice.
edit,
well done.
And then we stylize.
Put your
the
ugly
house.
crap away. Is that what you mean by edit?
We wouldn't say it like that.
No, just
Yes.
I would. Yeah.
Let's edit.
Staging by Neanderthals. That's my next company. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So we edit it and then we stylize it with our accessories and maybe little things, but we use all their furniture and then we shoot it. So we have this whole package deal that.
Edit, stylize, and shoot.
Right. Yeah, and one of the benefits too of, Suzi's a trained designer, I'm a photographer, so she's going in, she's making the house look beautiful, and I'm taking pictures, and we're working with each other to make sure the photographs are, appropriately showing off.
Might be a pretty backsplash, but it won't photo well.
Right.
Like that piece?
Yeah.
Okay.
Things like that. Yeah. And then I would also say just, as she said, we're kind of in that mid-level, and we understand that some, there are some people who have absolutely gorgeous homes with beautiful furnishings, and they really, what is the point of moving all of that out?
Right.
And you can really just maybe it just needs to take a few things away and rearrange a little bit, and it's going to look beautiful. Or on the lower end,
which reduces the cost, right?
That's right.
Definitely.
Yeah, and they can continue living there, and they can have their pets there, and there's not that worry.
Yeah.
And then on the lower end, if people really can't afford it, there's definitely things we can do using what they have and then rearranging again.
Optimizing whatever they've got.
Bringing in fluffy brand new white pillows that look great, and really making that bed look just so inviting that people walk in and like, wow, this is just
like a
gorgeous.
hotel bed.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do they do that? Suzi, Julie, thank you both so much for sharing your expertise and insight with us. We liked having you guys on the radio show.
Thank you.
Will you come back
Very
sometime?
much. Of course.
Okay, good. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Jen.
Thank you.
So now we've got our winner, and our winner of today's TPG $250 sweepstakes is Susan Greer with the correct answer of 98% increase in comments and responses and activity when you have a photo on a social media platform. So Susan, congratulations. Either sign a listing right now or on one you already have. You can have the $250 package from Taylor Photography Group, and we thank them again for providing that for us. Next week, now this one, I want everyone, if you'll do me a favor, if you enjoy the radio show every week and you like the fact that we do this, I'd like you to bring a friend to next week's radio show. Joe Cristiano is one of my personal mentors. He's had tremendous success. He's been a CEO or chairman of the board for multiple companies, some of which on the Fortune list. He's an amazing human being who could charge whatever he wants for business coaching and consulting. And we have gotten him to give a half an hour of his time to spend with us in and on this show. So I would like everyone who can hear this to bring a friend from inside or outside the company. I don't even really care. To come and listen to what Joe has to say. He has helped me time and time again in my professional career. He's one of the most elegant, intelligent men I've ever worked with, and someone that I try to model my business after. Then we're backing that up with one of the number one agents in the company sharing her successes and what she's done as a business owner, as a real estate professional, and we're giving stuff away. So there isn't I like every radio show, but this next one is can't miss radio show material, absolutely packed with content. And then in the following week, we're going to be announcing our grand prize winner. In order to do that, you had to be on every radio show, and we are going to be giving away 2 tickets to Beach Blanket Babylon and a Visa card for dinner in San Francisco. So we've got a grand giveaway as well that we'll be announcing in a couple of weeks. So thank you all for listening, and make it a great week.